Help us to understand depression in the light of fighting jihad overseas as a way of relieving depression.
With regards to self-identity and the connection to possible extremist radicalization, it's something that's very concerning. It's something that's very real. Individuals who are confident about who they are, that are confident about their identity, are less likely to allow someone to tell them what their identity should be. When you're confident about who you are, you don't need someone to tell you who you are or should be. When individuals are not necessarily sure, and then radicalization's sake, a lot of times when individuals are learning who they are or should be, there's a gap. There's a gap for misinformation. So identity is imperative to all of us as people, but particularly to the Muslim living in non-Muslim lands. To the Muslim living in lands who are not predominantly Muslim. It's not the predominant culture. Because what tends to happen is when you're not comfortable and you don't know who you are and you aren't confident in your identity, you tend to try to assimilate to be like others. And that others could be like the dominant culture, or that those others can be like whoever is telling you you should be like them. And that's dangerous, because there are groups out there, unfortunately, that would love to tell a young person who is learning who they are and who they should be that they should hate others. And that within itself is very dangerous. That they should hate others because others don't like who you are. So if it was anything that I could say about identity that would be advice for all of us, is that for the Muslims, you gotta be comfortable just being you. You gotta be comfortable being Muslim. And you gotta really believe that others are okay with you being you. And for those of us that are not Muslim, you gotta allow people to know that you are okay with who they are. Because if you are a part of that dominant culture and someone is not, they're often uncomfortable with being who they are around you, and you just don't know. And majority of the time we mean well. We just don't know. But the issue of identity leads to so much. The issue of identity leads to issues with self-worth. And when you have doubt about your self-worth and you think that you are less than others, you build up frustration. You build up frustration for others. And this is what's dangerous. Because if you have frustration that is lined with hatred for not being able to be who you want to be, you fall into the issue of cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is actually just having a thought and a belief, or action and belief that don't match. And what's connected with long-term cognitive dissonance is aggression. And the one thing that we don't need is an aggressive person, whether they have been radicalized or not. But that individual filled with frustration, that when that person comes and they see that this person is unhappy with who they are and unhappy with who others see them being, what they often fall into is trying to be like them. And what I know about self-worth is this. When I'm not sure about who I am in my own home, and our home, and the only home that we know is right here because we're Americans. When I'm not comfortable in my home, I'm not comfortable anywhere. Because those who I would think would accept me, I don't believe that they do. And those who I would want to accept me, they don't. So I feel alone. Let's be thoughtful of that. And remember, if someone is of another minority, whatever that minority is, especially nowadays with regards to Muslims, because we know there's an effort to radicalize good people, and we can do something about it. And what that is, it's just letting people know, especially Muslims, that we are okay with you being you.